Ebona, the 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles, 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebona FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,
you can as well listen online via mixlr.com/gistfm.
Good evening and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM news update. Today is Monday, the second day of January 2023, and the time is 6 o'clock. Martin Ipan Shukwekize is my name. The headlines. Petrol sells for 390 naira in Anambra. Travelers lament. Group calls on Buhari to end spate of herdsmen, bandits, killings in Enugu community. What future holds for Ohaneze Ndibo as Obiozo bows. peterobi meets award-winning writer Chimamanda Adichie. Ado-Ogidi beauty pageant puts Ogidi culture on display as new queen emerge. World welcomes 2023 amid concerns over war and inflation. Now, the details. Petrol sells for 390 naira in Anambra. Travelers lament. The premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, is selling between 330 naira and 390 naira per liter in Onitsha, Nnewi, Awka, and other parts of Anambra State. The situation was like that at all the filling stations across the state on Saturday, except at a filling station located at Tazan near Onitsha, name withheld, which was selling at 180 naira but with large queues of vehicles and customers scrambling for the product. As a consequence, the cost of transportation and prices of commodities has sharply increased in the state. This is just as travelers going to other parts of the southeast for the New Year celebration were made to pay as high as over 300% in transportation fare. Movements in and around Anambra were also affected as tricycle and shuttle buses increased their fares astronomically. It was gathered that fares for intra-city shuttle and tricycle had increased by as much as 300%, as transporters now collect 300 naira for distances that cost 100 naira, as commuters and commercial transport operators engage in hot arguments and quarrel. For instance, a journey from Onitsha to Awka, which used to be 500 naira, was increased to 1,500 naira. Upper Iweka to Main Market, Upper Iweka to Holy Trinity, and others, which were formerly 100 naira, went up to 300 naira. Correspondents who went round major cities of Onitsha, Nnewi, Awka, Ekulobia on Saturday observed that motorists in the town expressed concern that the price of petrol had continued to rise without anybody coming to their rescue. They accused marketers of arbitrarily hiking prices because of the Christmas and New Year celebration. A traveler identified as Mama Chisom, who lives in Onitsha but traveling to Abakaliki in Enugu, Ebonyi State, lamented that the increase in transport fare had put additional burden on the travelers and household items. She called on the federal government to intervene in the petrol price issue and save the masses from unbearable hardship. Group calls on Buhari to end spate of herdsmen, bandits killings in Enugu community. President Muhammad Buhari has been asked to act swiftly to stop the spate of killings in Iha Amofu community in Enugu State by suspected herdsmen and bandits in the last 1 year. A group operating under the edges of Enugu good governance has asked for President Muhammadu Buhari's intervention on the incessant herdsmen and bandits killings in Enugu community. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja on Saturday, the coordinator of the group, Odinaka Okechukwu, condemned the mindless attacks, said no fewer than 150 persons have been killed in a range of attacks on the Ihamafu and the adjoining communities. Okechukwu said the attacks have sacked the entire community, forcing residents to seek refuge in internally displaced persons camps in neighboring communities, resulting into a massive humanitarian crisis. The group urged the Inspector General of Police, Akali Baba, and other security chiefs in the country to wade into the crisis in line with their constitutional mandate and restore normalcy in the troubled community. The group noted that it will serve interests of the good citizens of Enugu State for security agents to quickly step up their game, as the attacks have been hijacked by some politicians who are politicizing the situation, even as the crisis predated the current administration of Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. The group subsequently called on President Muhammadu Buhari as the commander-in-chief of Nigeria's armed forces to exercise his powers to stop the attacks and end the bloodletting in Keyamo community in Enugu State. What future holds for Ohanaeze Ndigbo as Obiozor bows? President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Professor George Obiozor, submitted to the cold hands of death on December 26, 2022. It was nearly 2 years after he was elected into office. Obiozor, who hailed from Awomama, Olu East Council of Imo State, was elected into office on January 10, 2020. He was aged 80. He celebrated his last birthday on August 15, 2022. Imo State Governor, Senator Hope Uzodinma, confirmed his death on Wednesday night, thus ending several days of rumors and speculations over his demise. Uzodinma said, "On behalf of the government and the people of Imo State, I, Senator Hope Uzodinma, the Executive Governor of Imo State, sorrowfully announced the passage of a great son of Imo State and Nigeria, the President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide, Professor George Obiozor, a renowned academic and exceptional diplomat, a statesman, and a tenacious patriot. Professor George Obiozor passed on recently after a brief illness. The death of this foremost Igbo leader and former Nigeria's ambassador to the United States and the States of Israel is a big loss to Imo State, the Southeast, and the entire Nigeria." Professor Obiozor spoke truth to power and was a strong advocate of a united Nigeria where justice, equity, and fairness will reign supreme. The cold hands of death cut short the tenure of Professor George Obiozor as the President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide. He will be greatly missed by Nigerians, the diplomatic community, and Ndigbo in particular. Peterobi meets award-winning writer Chimamanda Adichie. The Labour Party presidential candidate Peterobi and award-winning Nigerian writer Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie met in Anambra. News had reported earlier that Chimamanda was conferred with a chieftaincy title on Friday, December 30th in her hometown. Adichie, who hails from Aba in Anambra State, was on Friday honored with the title of Odelo Waba. The governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, amongst other dignitaries, were present at the ceremony. Award-winning novelist Chimamanda Adichie was on Friday honored by her native Aba hometown, Njikoka local government area, Anambra State, with the chieftaincy title of Odelo Wa. She, who writes for the world, a social media user, Uche Nwora, who shared photos from the ceremony on Facebook earlier. However, in a video clip cited online, Obi was seen exchanging pleasantry with the writer as she dazzled in her traditional attire adorned with chieftaincy materials. Meanwhile, Chimamanda had earlier encouraged the upcoming generation to read, saying reading is magical. She said, "The most meaningful thing for me as a writer is to know that I can create something that means something to other people. And so what moves me the most is to hear from people who have read me and who say, your work made me feel seen. Your work made me think differently. Your work made me feel that I was not alone." And I am so grateful for this award because, again, it just makes me feel that I'm doing matters, and it's a gift to feel what you are doing matters. For the young people, if you care about anything, please care about reading. Reading is so important. Reading is magical. Books are magical, she stated. Ado-Ogidi beauty pageant puts Ogidi culture on display as new queen emerge. The event, which was titled Ogbuachi for the 2022-2023 edition, experienced the ultimate competition of contestants on cultural values of Ogidi. The event, which was powered by Ebon Adi 103.5 FM, ended with jubilation of the winner and her family. For more on the story, we give you this report. Take a listen.
The sight and sound of complete Ogidi culture was in full display at the 2022 Ado-Ogidi pageantry on Friday, 30th December 2022 at Leofin Residency Hotel, Ogidi. 2022/2023 Ado-Ogidi pageantry goes with the title Obuashi.
All the previous years, here in the remember Ado-Ogidi. And this year, I will actually introduce this Obuashi. Obuashi means a lot to only honorable one in Ogidi. So, Nakaji Wabatafa Obuachi. So, the winner today is Miracle Oluebukeke. Yes, he is the Obuachi for 2023.
Obuachi, which is the true representation of the attributes of Ogudu woman, came on stage through cultural characteristics of contestant number 4. Or the campaign against domestic violence, in which contestant number 2 advised women on how to avoid it. Amongst other charismatic display by the contestants, highlights of the event was the presentation of the crown to the winner of Ado-Ogidi 2022/2023 pageantry. Mr. Jude Mwabese, who is also known as MC Amatan, the director of Ado-Ogidi pageantry, gave glory to God for another successful outing.
Yes. Today, this year's show was even greater. You understand? It's not been easy. He made show for 7 consecutive times, and his success all the way. You understand? So it's not easy, and we thank God for that. God did, man. God did. Yeah.
From Ado-Ogidi pageantry at Leofin Residency Hotel, Ogidi, Martin Epanshuku AKC reporting.
There you have it. And now we move to the foreign scene. World welcomes 2023 amid concerns over war and inflation. It was a stormy year marked by conflict in Ukraine and the economic stresses it caused. New Year's celebrations swept across the globe, ushering in 2023 with countdowns and fireworks, and marking an end to a year that brought war in Europe and global worries over inflation. The new year began in the tiny atoll nation of Kiribati in the Central Pacific, then moved across Russia and New Zealand before heading deeper, time zones by time zones, through Asia, Africa, and Europe, and into the Americas. Australia kicked off the celebration with its first restriction-free New Year's Eve after 2 years of COVID disruptions. Sydney welcomed the new year with a typical dazzling fireworks display, which for the first time featured a rainbow waterfall off the Harbour Bridge. In China, rigorous COVID-19 restrictions were lifted only in December as the government abruptly reversed its zero-COVID policy, a switch that has led to a soaring infections and meant some people were in no mood to celebrate. Meanwhile, Russia attacks on Ukraine continued on New Year's Eve. At midnight, the streets of Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, were desolate. The only sign of a new year came from local residents shouting from their balconies, "Happy New Year" and "Glory to Ukraine." Only half an hour into 2023, air raid sirens rang across the city, followed by sounds of explosions. In a video message to mark the new year, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Times Magazine's 2022 Person of the Year, said, "I want to wish all of us one thing, victory." Russia President Vladimir Putin devoted his New Year's address to rallying the Russian people behind his troops, but festivities in Moscow were muted without the usual fireworks on Red Square. This is where we draw the curtain on news updates on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Petrol sells for 319 naira in Anambra. Travelers lament. Group calls on Buhari to end spate of herdsmen, bandits killings in Enugu community. What future holds for Ohaneze Ndigbo as Obiozo bows. Peterobi meets award-winning writer Chimamanda Adichie. Ado Ogidi beauty pageant puts Ogidi culture on display as new queen emerge. World welcomes 2023 amid concerns over war and inflation. News packaged by Divine and Ebona Ade News team. Thank you for listening to Ebona Ade 103.5 FM News Update. My name is Martin Ifan Shuku Ekeze. Till next time, bye.